Physical description. Lian is a young man around 18 years old at the beginning of the story. He has dark, messy hair and a deep gaze that reflects the pain of loss. His eyes, once bright, grow somber over the years, and his face bears scars from the battles he's fought. As his journey progresses, his body becomes more robust and resilient, with the stance of a warrior that mirrors the power he has gained. Personality. At first, Leon is impulsive and consumed by the pain of losing his family. Rage and the desire for revenge are his main motivations, but as the story unfolds, he becomes more thoughtful. Leon constantly struggles with the temptation of the dark power he has acquired and the fear of losing his humanity. Though his exterior hardens, inside, he yearns for connection, and his relationship with Kale reveals his more compassionate side. Motivations. Vengeance drives Lian, but over time, this desire transforms into a quest for redemption. Throughout his journey, he also develops a deep sense of responsibility to protect others and ensure that no one else suffers as he did. His internal battle with the dark power mirrors his struggle to control his destiny without succumbing to corruption. Kale is a unique creature, a blend of an agile monkey and a majestic dragon. But describing his physical form is a constant challenge due to his exceptional ability to change both his color and body structure. This ability, which marks him as the only one of his species with this gift, makes him unpredictable and fascinating. His powerful wings allow him to soar through the skies, while his dark scales reflect light in a mysterious way, adapting to his environment to camouflage or intimidate. His bright eyes, full of intelligence, capture the essence of his cunning and understanding. Although he starts relatively small, Kale grows alongside Leon, becoming an imposing creature, capable of flying long distances and facing formidable enemies. Personality. Kale is extremely loyal to Leon, and although he cannot speak, he shows a surprising intelligence and an ability to understand human emotions. At his core, Kale is curious, playful, and protective, but also brave and fierce when the situation requires it. His bond with Leon goes far beyond a typical animal-human relationship, as he acts as both a battle companion and a trusted friend. Role in the story. Kale is the emotional heart of Leon's journey. His sacrifice in the final chapters demonstrates the deep bond between the two, and his constant presence helps balance Leon's dark and conflicted nature. Kale also symbolizes Leon's connection to his humanity, a constant reminder of what's at stake in his struggle against the dark power. Physical description. Zadar is an imposing man of middle age with an intimidating appearance. His hair is white, and his skin is marked with the scars of many battles. He always wears dark armor that seems fused with his body, and his presence commands both respect and fear. His cold, calculating eyes reveal his unrelenting ambition. Personality. Zadar is cunning, manipulative, and ruthless. As the leader of the Shadow Hand, he has an insatiable thirst for power. He firmly believes in the law of the strongest and will use any resource at his disposal to achieve his goals. His lust for power led him to consume a dark stone, connecting him to the same entity that torments Leon. Despite his evil nature, Zadar is a brilliant strategist, always one step ahead of his enemies. Motivations. Zadar's desire to control the power of the stones, especially the dark ones, is driven by his belief that he can dominate the world and bend everyone to his will. Initially, his primary goal is to gain more power, but as the story progresses, he begins to understand the true nature of the dark power and seeks a way to control the ancient entity within the stones. Physical description. Arya is a strong-built woman with brown hair tied in a ponytail and honey-colored eyes full of determination. She bears scars on her arms and face, evidence of the countless battles she's fought against the Shadow Hand. Her tough appearance reflects a life of struggle and survival. Personality. Arya is brave, determined, and willing to sacrifice everything for the freedom of her people. Her heart is marked by the loss of her family and friends at the hands of the Shadow Hand, but this same loss has turned her into a fierce leader. She is pragmatic and does not easily trust others, making her initially wary of Lian. However, she also has a deep capacity for leadership and empathy toward those who have suffered, as she has. Motivations. Arya's main goal is to destroy the Shadow Hand and free her people from Zadar's rule. Her motivation is not power, but justice. Although she grows increasingly distrustful of Leon as his dark power manifests, She also recognizes that he may be the key to defeating Zadar. Throughout the story, Arya evolves from a reluctant leader to a strategist willing to do whatever it takes to win the war. Taron is a strategist. Physical description. Taron is a tall, slim young man with messy blonde hair and sharp blue eyes full of wit. Although he is not particularly strong physically, he is known for his quick mind and ability to think up complex strategies during battles. Personality. Taron is a logical thinker, always analyzing every situation from a tactical perspective. He may sometimes seem distant or cold, but he deeply cares for his friends, especially Lian. His practical approach and intelligence allow him to stay calm in moments of crisis, making him an invaluable asset to the group. Relationship with Lian. Taron was one of the first to meet Lian when he joined the Resistance. Although he initially distrusted him, over time he came to respect Lian for his combat skills and determination. He acts as a sort of advisor to Lian, reminding him that brute force is not always the best option, and helping him think of more strategic solutions to his problems. Motivations. While Taron does not seek power, his main goal is to defeat the Shadow Hand and free his people. His family was captured and enslaved by Zadar, and though he doesn't show his pain openly, he is driven by a deep desire for justice. Mira, the he. Physical description. Mira is a young woman with light brown hair and green eyes, with a delicate and serene appearance. Her presence is comforting, and she always carries a small pouch filled with medicinal herbs and protective amulets. Personality. Mira is gentle and compassionate, always willing to help others. She has a pacifist nature and avoids violence as much as possible, preferring to heal her friends and offer words of comfort. However, despite her aversion to fighting, she is incredibly brave when it comes to protecting those she loves. Relationship with Lian. Mira has great respect for Lian, but also a deep concern for his connection to the dark power. Throughout the story, she tries to remind him of the importance of maintaining his humanity and not being consumed by the darkness. Although she doesn't always understand Leon's decisions, she stands by his side, ready to heal him both physically and emotionally. Motivations. Mira lost her family during one of the Shadow Hand's raids, which led her to join the Resistance. Though she hates war, she knows that fighting is necessary to achieve peace. Her main motivation is to save lives and ensure that once the war is over, they can rebuild a better world. Physical description. Derek is a burly man with strong arms and visible scars all over his body. He has short, dark hair and stubble that gives him a rugged look. He always carries a large, double-edged axe with him. Personality. Derek is a fierce and loyal fighter with a straightforward and somewhat impulsive personality. He's not known for subtlety, but his bravery and willingness to protect his friends make him indispensable on the battlefield. Despite his rough nature, he has a heart of gold and deeply cares for those he considers his family. Relationship with Lian. Derek and Lian form a solid friendship based on mutual respect. Derek admires Lian's strength and determination, and though he doesn't fully understand Lian's internal struggle with the dark power, he's always ready to fight by his side. He's the kind of friend who doesn't ask complicated questions. He's just there when you need him, ready to defend his own. Motivations. Derek lost his younger sister to the Shadow Hand, igniting his desire for revenge. While his main motivation is justice for his sister, he has also found a new family in the Resistance, one he is willing to protect at any cost. Nissa, the Scout. Physical description. Nissa is agile and slim, with black hair and gray eyes that seem to observe everything. Her clothing is designed for stealth, and she always carries a bow and arrows. She has scars on her hands and arms, the result of encounters with creatures and enemies. Personality. Nissa is quiet, reserved, and extremely observant. She's an expert at moving in the shadows and gathering information without being seen. Though she may seem distant, she has a dark and sarcastic sense of humor that she shows only to those she trusts. She is fiercely loyal, and while she doesn't easily display her emotions, she feels a deep responsibility towards her friends. Relationship with Lian. Nissa respects Lian's fighting ability, but she's always been wary of his internal struggle with the dark power. Although she doesn't say it outright, Nissa keeps an eye on Leon in case the power he wields consumes him completely. Despite her concerns, she considers him an indispensable ally, and over the course of the story, they develop a friendship based on mutual trust. Motivations: Nissa has lived a solitary life, having been separated from her family at a young age. And her main motivation is to defeat the Shadow Hand so that others don't have to experience the loss and isolation she has. Throughout the story, she realizes that the resistance has filled the void she felt, and she becomes committed to protecting her new family. These characters form the close group of friends and allies around Lian. Each of them brings unique skills and perspectives that complement the protagonist's struggle, and their relationships with him evolve throughout the story, helping Lian face his own internal and external challenges. The Dark Entity, the force behind the Dark Stones. Physical description: the Dark Entity is an ethereal, malevolent presence without a physical form, but can manifest through the users of the Dark Stones. It is perceived as a sinister shadow dwelling in the deepest corners of the planet's sanctuary. Its voice is like a whisper in the minds of those who have consumed the stones, always tempting and manipulating. Personality: this entity is ancient, malicious, and cunning. It has existed since time immemorial, feeding on the ambition and desperation of those seeking power. Its goal is to break free from the barriers confining it to the planet's sanctuary and to dominate the outside world. Through the dark stones, it manipulates its users, promising them unlimited power but with the intent of possessing and controlling them completely. Motivations: the dark entity seeks to extend its influence over the outside world. It manipulates Zadar and, to a lesser extent, Lian, pushing them to consume more power until they are entirely under its control. Throughout the story, it represents the greatest threat, not only to the main characters, but to the balance of the entire world. These characters are the heart of the story, each with unique motivations and traits that drive the plot forward and explore the themes of vengeance, power, sacrifice, and redemption.